Where have you been, Jordan? Why haven't you uploaded? In 2 weeks, they ask me. Have you quit YouTube? No! I've just been trying to stay up with the times, that's all. Be an informed citizen, you know? Like I heard I'm supposed to do. I thought I'd give it a try. I tried my best, but every week I would read articles and get tripped up. They made no sense. I would be stuck for hours trying to understand these words. So media, I'm calling you out. Double check your writing because I cannot understand what you are saying. If it's so important what you're writing, have somebody in the facility read what you wrote. Like, I really don't even think that one person in the entire organization reads these articles that they themselves are putting out because, well, how about I just show you? Let's take a look at a few of them, shall we? The Hill writes in their amazing article, Ellison holds edge in DNC race survey. Both candidates also lead the Hill's poll of second choice preferences, suggesting that a lack of enmity between the two DNC factions. Period. Suggesting that a lack of enmity between the two DNC factions. That's a fragment. That's not a sentence. The Washington Post. Trump administration issues new immigration enforcement policies. Sounds like a really interesting article. Hopefully we can get some useful information out of this one. That is in part because of stricter border control measures have flattened the net flow of that is in part because of stricter border control measures have flattened the measures. Wait a second, I got this. That is because of stricter. The Washington Examiner writes an amazing article here entitled Hundreds of Campuses Encourage Students to Turn in Fellow Students for Offensive Speech. Alright, let's try and get some information from this one. When a student sparred with the professor over transgender rights, a debate raging both in the media and legislative and You're so conceited that you wrote your name twice, I see. Let's continue reading. The so-called bias response teams reviewing these often anonymous reports typically include police officers, student conduct administrators, and public relations, okay? See, this person doesn't believe in the Oxford comma. There's 3 items there, and before the and, they decide not to put a comma. All right, I know that that's a preference for some people. I don't personally understand, but I can see that. So let's continue reading here. Yes, complaining about oppression may bring the bias response team to your dorm room to explain why your views were insufficiently polite, comma, decent, comma, and non-controversial. It's 3 items. Like, there's no difference between those 3 items and the 3 items earlier. But you decided to use the Oxford comma that time. Explain that one. Like, did you just forget to put it up there? Be consistent, at least. Don't mess with me like this, okay? Do you like the Oxford comma or not? I need to know. CNN has an amazing article here about some new planets that have been discovered. This is incredibly similar, Jupiter and its Galilean moons. I think you forgot something at home, right? I'll give you a hint. Right there. It goes right there. Fox 5 New York has a story about a hoarder fire on the Upper West Side, but was left behind was piles of debris on the sidewalk below. But was left behind was an editor. Fox News wrote a very informative article about the Icelandic president who said he'd ban putting pineapple on pizza. A huge story to be sure. Let's read about it. But was Goni's stance on pizza that made headlines and set off a heated debate on Twitter? Wait, I'll give you a hint. Fox News. It starts with an I, ends in a T, and it goes right here. It goes right there. Look, forget Goni's stance on pizza, okay? Goni says roots for Manchester United. Associated Press wrote an article entitled End of Transgender Bathroom Rule Gets Conservative Praise. Let's take a look at this one. The agency said they withdrew the guidance to in order to further and more completely consider the guidance to in order to. Well, that makes a lot of sense, Associated Press. Yeah. Of course. Let's go back to the Washington Post again about a very warm February. Other Midwestern cities are also basking in the unusual and record-setting warmth. They fixed it. You know what? They fixed it. That was not like that earlier today. I did not screenshot it, but it did say earlier, other Midwestern cities are also basking in the unusual warmth, and the highest temperatures are likely still to come. An obvious run-on sentence, but good for the Washington Post for actually fixing their mistake today. A way more concise sentence. Good job, Washington Post. The Daily Mail writes, the specialist equipment enables the crew to detect radioactive debris clouds in real time, is believed to be heading towards Northern Europe. It enables the crew to detect radioactive debris clouds in real time, is believed to be heading towards that doesn't make sense. But good job on trying to write a sentence. Good job. CBS News came out with a great article about the Powerball 435 million jackpot that has one winning ticket. They wrote, Powerball and Mega Millions jackpots have topped the $400 million mark. Wait a second. Something looks funny. Oh, there you are! I found him! There he is. Pretty sure that's not supposed to be there. Let's actually refresh the page because I've had this window open up for a while now, and I would be shocked if they didn't fix this. So let's check this out. Powerball and Mega Millions jackpots. There we go. Congratulations, you did it. Very good. But look, okay, guys, none of this actually matters. Okay, because I mean, like, honestly, I come to find out it actually says something more about myself than anybody. I mean, according to Breitbart.com, I found this article. The University of Washington declares proper grammar is racist. Yes, you've read that right. The Writing Center at the University of Washington is telling students that expecting Americans to use proper grammar perpetrates racism. And you know what? I read the entire article and it makes sense. It makes sense. The university's Vice Chancellor Jill Purdy claimed that the Writing Center's new statement is a great example of how academia can fight back against racism. She's quoted as saying, language is the bridge between ideas and action. So how we use words has a lot of influence on what we think and do. But, Chancellor, I mean, I hate to say it, but your grammatically flawless sentence that you have created there is saying something a little deeper about yourself. It's okay though. We can fix this. Language are the bridge between an ideas and action. So how they use them word don't not have a lot of influence on what I thunk and done did. There. Just wanted to help you out with the little racism issue that it seems that you might have been having. I don't want to say it, but I mean, the sentence didn't lie. Well, guys, good thing that Chancellor Jill just had a wake-up call. Gosh, be sure that you slip up every once in a while in your grammar usage. Thank God that CNN and Fox News aren't racist, because that would shatter my entire world. But, the Washington Post did fix that run-on sentence, and they made it a little more concise and correct. Shoot. We can't stand for that. So, just come up with a hashtag or something. Hashtag Washington Post run-on sentence fix Y. Okay. Let's get it trending. And all right. Well, guys, I'll see you next week. See ya. Bye.